Are you religious now? Still?
I respect all religions, but when I was growing up,
Sorry, it's just a disclaimer. It's always funny. I respect all
I
religion.
respect. Are you religious?
I believe in like a godly like source of energy, like
Like a higher spirit.
yeah. Will you adopt?
I would. I would obviously try to have my own kids,
Yeah.
and then if that doesn't work out, I can always adopt. What's your favorite thing about being a woman?
I think such a long list. I like just like being feminine. Like I love womanhood. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Wasted with Wendy. Today's co-host is my friend Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily.
So Emily and we actually met through my other company, like Wasted Apparel. She hit me up like
around last year. This time I would hit her up for a custom dress for Valentine's, and she killed it, and it looked amazing.
Thank you.
And your work is amazing. Your place is, I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Emily was here before this studio looked anything like this. Like we're filming right now.
It was really empty.
It was completely empty. I mean, like it was all white walls. It was just like a white room. Like there was nothing in it except like a mirror, and I think I had like a desk and probably like a bunch of like random stuff. I used it more like a, what would you call it? Like in Spanish we say like cuarto de desahogo. It's like a room you just throw shit in. What would you say in English?
I don't know, but when I would come over get my measurements, I would sit on the floor. I remember sitting on the floor like here. Right here.
Literally.
And you were just doing my dress.
Yeah. And now it's like fully transformed, but we haven't done like a room tour yet, so they don't know what the other half looks like. They don't know,
but it looks really nice.
Thank you. It's like half a sewing room, half a studio. But anyways, that's how me and Emily met, and then after that, we just kept seeing each other. Like
we saw each other randomly out in public, and then after that, we just hung out.
Yeah, it like solidified like the start of like a good friendship.
Yeah,
we're like, oh,
it's rare because you don't find like friendship like that.
Yeah.
I don't really like click with a lot of people because I'm like really quiet, but
yeah,
I just got the good vibe from you.
Me too. I remember when you came over, I was so scared because like I didn't know we had like mutuals, like you know a couple of people I know, but I felt like when I first seen your DM, I thought you were just like a stranger. Like a lot of girls hit me up that I don't know anything about, so sometimes I'm like, damn. Because what if they don't know me and then like they come and see, I don't know, it's always more scary when I feel like there's no connection between like me and the customer. But then when I figured out that we had like some friends in common, I felt like a little bit better about it. And then
I think it was actually with Nani that she posted like her swimwear, and I was like, oh, it looks good. And I clicked on your business Instagram, and I seen that you did customs, dress, like everything. So I was like, oh, bet. Like, I think I would want like a Valentine dress because my friend Ely, she was throwing a party. So I was like, all right, let me text her, let me DM her, and we had mutuals.
Yeah. And that was the start of it all. And now we're here.
We are here.
Well, thank you for coming on the podcast.
I'm excited.
She was actually one of the first people I told about the podcast. I didn't want to tell everybody because, sometimes you don't want to like tell people your ideas. Yeah. Before they're like a thing. And then it's like, they start like putting their little opinions on it. And it like kills the vibe. Yeah. But I like trust it. I'm like, Emily's a Cancer and Ashley's a Cancer. My mom's a Cancer. I feel like I've always had like Cancer like friends, or like all my best friends ever have been like Cancers actually.
Yeah.
My other close friend Venus, she's a Cancer. I feel like
Damn, you have a lot of Cancers.
Dude, all of you guys and we just like, we're like magnets.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because my mom's a Cancer.
I know a lot of Cancers. Yeah.
What would you say is like your main like friend thing, or is it like super diverse? Like
I think it's a lot of water signs and earth, mostly Virgos. I don't really have fire signs like that.
Yeah.
Maybe like 1 and 2. But mostly more grounded people, more sensitive.
Well, I have a Scorpio moon, and my rising is Taurus. So maybe that's where like it balances out
moon
my
is in
fire.
Pisces, and my rising is a Sagittarius.
Oh.
But 2 years ago, that's when I started like reading into signs and astrology, and I thought I was a Scorpio because I would ask my mom. I was like, Mom, like, what's my birth sign? I mean, what's my birth time?
Yeah.
And she would always tell me 425, 425. So I was like, all right, you know CoStar?
Yeah.
I have the app, so that's how I found out my sign. And it told me my rising sign was a Scorpio. So I got it tatted on me because I have my 3 big tatted on me. And then maybe till like last year, probably till like last year, I found my birth certificate and it said 545.
Oh my
God. So I was like, oh my God, is that going to change everything now? And I search it up and I'm a Sag.
Oh my God.
I think it's a Sag thing to do because I heard Sag are more outgoing, more freedom. Like they're more.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Do you have like anything Scorpio in your chart to go with your Scorpio tattoo?
I don't think so.
Okay, so you got it for me in my moon.
Yeah.
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 As a symbol.
I think it's meant to be.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get like a Cancer one for all the Cancer bitches in my life.
You have a lot.
So many. All of you.
I think you're gonna get like a Cancer baby.
I would be cool with a Cancer baby. My nephew's a Cancer. I'm just surrounded, you know. I like Cancers. You guys are sensitive and.
Do you have fire signs around
in my family? My dad's a Sag and my mom Cancer,
Oh.
so that's
What
crazy.
What is your dad like?
He's super Sag. He's like such a masculine man. He's a go-getter, hard-headed, little dash of like narcissism. You know, like a true Hispanic father.
Right.
But he's amazing. He's like a really ambitious father, and like he escaped. I was talking about that in the last episode. He escaped Cuba, and like he brought all of us here. Not just like obviously my main family, like my mom and my sister and I, but like all my grandparents, all my nieces and nephews and cousins, and like literally 2 months ago, my aunt, like my last aunt, finally was able to come with her son. So he's like been able to like work hard. Him and my mom, but he was the first one to escape. So he's, you know, he's very like entrepreneur vibes. Doesn't like structure like schools or.
He's like hard-headed, like
super hard-headed,
firm.
Yeah, but you know, also it goes with like how he was raised. So I don't know how much of it is like his like direct like Sag influence versus like exterior forces.
Yeah, my mom is a cat. She's a cat.
Ooh,
and my dad
scary.
is a Gemini. I get along with my dad more than my mom.
Yeah?
Because, yeah, she's a little tense.
Oh, yeah, you did tell me you kind of had some mommy issues in there.
Yeah, I have mommy issues. I don't have daddy issues, which I'm glad I don't have daddy issues.
Yeah.
But mommy issues, I don't know what's worse. I don't know if daddy issues, mommy issues.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, growing up with my mom is really tough. I think it was because how she was raised and how she was taught to live life or just growing up. But I had it really tough. Both of my parents are religious and they're Christian, and I didn't grow up celebrating birthdays or holidays, none of that at all.
Yeah, you were telling me that like right before we started filming, and I wanted to ask her so many things, but I was like, wait, don't tell me yet. Like, tell me on the podcast, because I didn't know this about Emily. Like, obviously I've known her. I mean, now it's like almost February, so I've known you for almost like a year.
Yeah.
But we've never like talked about like our parents or anything like that. And I never knew that about you. Like, I would have never even guessed that. Like, how so, but even though your mom and your dad were religious, you still get along more with your dad. Like, what's the difference between both of them?
I think the difference between them is my dad grew up in a loving home. He had his siblings, both of his parents, and my mom didn't. Her parents died at a really young age, and she grew up with a lot of sisters. So I think she was just trying to figure out life. And then
Yeah.
she had me probably when she was like 21.
Yeah.
With my dad, obviously. But it was tough. She just wanted to protect me and keep me in like in a circle, going to church, going straight back home, school, straight back home. Like I couldn't
Yeah.
hang out with like my friends from school. Like I was not allowed to be friends with them. Like I would try to invite them over for my mom to meet them, but she was so judgy. She would just be she like size you and she's like,
Like
she's not your friend.
dang. Because I know like people always make jokes about, your parents are like, don't be friends with that girl. And it's like funny, but obviously not if it's like an extreme, like what you're saying, like your mom never let you
Yeah.
have friends, never let you do anything.
Yeah.
Did you like miss out? Like, obviously you're seeing people in your school like celebrate their birthdays and like Christmas and other stuff. Did you ever feel like you wanted to do it and you couldn't, or you just didn't really care too much just because you never had it to miss it?
I've ever since I was a kid, like even elementary school, I would be sit out from watching Polar Express with the hot cocoa. Like I was always in the back. Birthdays with cupcakes. I couldn't eat cupcakes.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, what's wrong with cupcakes? Is
To
it because
this
it's
day,
like a
I don't
birthday
know. Yeah,
thing?
it's a birthday thing. It's like basically celebrating birthdays.
It's just a good
But it's
cupcake.
more to it religion wise for them. But um I've always wanted to celebrate birthdays. Even in high school, like they would invite me to their birthday parties, house parties. Like
Yeah.
I was not allowed until I moved out. I moved out when I was like 19. And from there I was in a toxic relationship and like whenever you're in like a toxic relationship and you're close minded, you're not on social media, you're not hanging out with your friends. Like I gained a lot of weight. I was like depressed. I was sad all the time. And especially like I'm a Cancer, like I feel everything.
Yeah.
So I was like in a hole. But then a year ago, I changed my ways. I left that relationship. In a better relationship now, in a better situation now. And I'm glad like I have people that supporting me.
Are you so cool with your parents?
I just started to be cool with my mom around last year when I started changing my environment and my ways. I tried to reach out to her there and then, but it was like a tough battle. It was going back and forth.
Yeah.
But now she's going to therapy and now she's slowly getting like better, but she's still hard headed with the
Yeah.
religion. Yeah.
Dang. And are you cool with your dad though?
Yeah. Me and him get along. He puts the religion aside. He
Okay.
puts me first as a daughter, as a
Yeah.
person, human being. He was like,
Are you religious now? Still?
No. Like I'm
Okay.
not I respect all religions, but when I was growing up,
Sorry, it's just a disclaimer. It's always funny. I respect all religion.
I respect.
Yeah.
No hate, no nothing. But yeah, growing up, like I was into reading the Bible, praying,
Yeah.
talking to God, and yeah, like I respect it. I want to believe like I believe it, but then I don't know what to believe,
Yeah.
It's like I'm stuck, don't know. But 2 years ago, that's when I started like reading into astrology and
Yeah.
universes and,
Yeah.
signs and spirits and all of that. So
Yeah.
it's a lot.
It is. There's so many different ways to like think about life. It's hard to like pick one. I don't think we have to ever pick one. We could just like stay in a confused vibe and just choose the one that feels like the best to think about. Because I feel like at the end of the day, we do have a lot of these like religious perspectives, almost more of like a sense of relief for the unknown. Because it is hard to like not know like what the universe is about or like what controls things or like where we come from. I feel like as humans, we're always going to try to look for answers. And when we don't have them, we'll make our own up. And I'm not saying like the religion is like made up, but I'm saying all the different opinions that people have of like where we come from, how the universe works. We're just all trying to make sense of something that we don't have like a real pure answer to.
Yeah. Are you religious?
I'm not religious, no, but not in the sense of like how religion itself is like an established like belief system, but I believe in like a godly like source of energy, like
a higher spirit.
Yeah, like a all-knowing being of like energy flow or something.
Definitely. Yeah.
But I also understand that like I don't know at the same time, and I enjoy the not knowing.
I don't know, like
yeah, I enjoy the not knowing and like the obviously I think we're not meant to know. I think that's like part of like this journey, like of how we were programmed to live here. Like we have so many answers to so many things, and so many like our bodies breathe without you thinking, and you digest without trying. You know what I'm saying? Like your bodies are doing all these things on autopilot, yet we don't know like the simple things about life, like where did it start, how did it start. And I feel like it's probably like purposeful, like we're putting here not to focus on that, but probably to like experience
and open our eyes and learn about it.
Yeah. So I'm not like religious, but I do like thinking and enjoying the thought of like a higher being, or like where it all comes from. And I do like contrasting like the different like point of views that people have, because there's so many, and like I feel like they all have to come from some version of like a truth, you know. And so, and even if you look at all religions, there is like a really common theme in a lot of them of like a higher source that like is good and pure and like, you know, wants the best for you. And if you take away all like the rest of the story, that's still like the moral of the story is like that there's like this power that's like bigger than us, and that it's like an extension of us. I like thinking of it like that. It like brings me peace and like calmness, because if you start thinking about like, oh my god, what happens after this, and like what's the universe, and like are there like parallel universes, like we're talking about that too. It's like,
yes, that's crazy.
Yeah,
my mom's named Wendy too, and then like you're like the only person I've met that has the same name. Yeah, you know?
I'm sorry that we share the same name. It's like a traumatizing thought.
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Because I'm like, damn, you don't really like your mom, but my name is Wendy. I don't know any other Wendy in like real life.
Yeah.
It's like not a really common name.
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't.
I mean, I'm sure it is like common, but not like where we live. Like it's not like a super unique name, but it's also not like one that's like used like Amanda or Stephanie. It's like, I don't know. I don't know any other Wendy's. And your mom is Wendy, which is so freaking weird.
Yeah. I only know 2 Wendy's.
And one of them is here. And the other one pushed her out of her vagina.
Sadly.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids.
How many?
I would say maybe 3, but I'll be fine with 2.
Okay. You want like a specific arrangement or YOLO?
Don't matter.
No?
Don't matter. I do want a boy though. I feel like being a boy mom is easy. I don't know.
They say it, but they might be lying.
I don't know.
I want to have 4. I would ideally want like 2 and 2. That's like my dream.
Equal.
Yeah, I have like all their names picked out, ready to go. I want to have a boy first.
Boy.
But only because my boyfriend wants a boy first. He wants it so bad that I'm like excited for him to get a boy first. I wouldn't care. Like if, and also like his brothers have kids and it's just like girls, even though there's like 4 brothers. The irony is that they've only had girls. So it would be like the first like boy grandkid in the family. So I'll root for a boy just for him. I'll be his cheerleader.
Hopefully. But would you want to like adopt?
You know, I've always thought about that because people talk about that. Like Cubans, like we don't have like an adoption like system over there. At least I don't think so. I don't even know if that's a thing. Like I've never even heard that until I came here.
Yeah.
So I never was raised on like the idea of like that people get adopted and like stuff like that. And then when I got older, people here talk about it like, oh, would you ever adopt? Like, how do you feel about that? And so it's like an interesting thought, but I don't know. I've never, I guess, like made up my mind on it. I'm I'm not sure. I feel like
it's a big risk to adopt because, probably whenever they grow up, they're gonna ask like, are you
no,
really
I
mom?
would want to. I think if I did it right, like in my head, I would definitely be honest with them about it. Like at an age appropriate time, I would
Yeah.
like tell them. I wouldn't just like let them like figure it out. I would
Mm-hmm.
just be like, okay, I think they're old enough to kind of like understand. But I don't know. I'm like, I don't know. I think I'm too uh like young to know my real answer.
Yeah.
I feel like if I say no now, it might be out of like the fact of how I imagine like having like a family that's birthed out of my vagina and like how important that is to me versus like maybe a couple years from now I'll be like, oh, family is more than just that, you know? I feel like I've changed my opinion on so many things like as I've kept like growing up. I'm closer to 25 now and I feel like, they say like your frontal cortex isn't fully developed until you're 25. I think that's like the area of your brain.
That's
I
what
might
I
be
heard
butchering
too.
it, but yeah, I feel like if I say an answer now, it might change. But I think it is a good thing when people do it because there's so many kids that need to be like adopted, and it's so sad to like
Rescued.
grow up with no family. Would you adopt?
I would. I would obviously try to have my own kids.
Yeah.
And then if that doesn't work out, I can adopt, always adopt.
If it worked, let's say you
Yeah.
had two kids, you think obviously this is like a forecasting something so far from like
Mm-hmm.
reality yet, but you think if you already had two or something, you think you would like adopt one kid, or you think you would only go towards the adoption route if you couldn't conceive by yourself?
I don't know. I don't think I'll mind, but who knows? Like everything changes. Like
All the time.
your
Yeah.
decision can go from one to 10 real quick. So you never know.
Yeah.
But my adoption is always my second thought.
Yeah.
I'll
That's sweet.
always have it in mind.
Do you know anybody who's adopted?
Um, I don't think so, but our friend Kay, she was in foster care.
Really?
Yeah, she was in foster. I don't really know too much, but she told me some details about
Yeah.
it. But she was in foster care.
Damn.
She had it tough too. So
It's crazy how we all have like such a different story to shape you into who you are.
yeah,
It's like a book, you know? Everybody gets like a different slice.
everyone has their own story.
Yeah. And then it shapes you so differently, like puts you at such a different starting point.
Mm-hmm.
Like I always think about, damn, what if I would have stayed like in Cuba? Like how would my it wasn't up to me to be born there, and it
Yeah,
wasn't up to me to escape. Like my
yeah,
dad did that by himself. So it's like if I would have stayed there, what would that have looked like, you know? It's like circumstances that you can't like control until a certain age.
yeah. My parents are
So
from
crazy.
Honduras, so I always think I was like, what if they had me in Honduras? Like how my life
Mhm.
would be and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's crazy.
Yeah. Was it weird being an immigrant kid? Like, or not really? I feel like we live in an area where there's a lot of like different cultures. So
Yeah.
at least for me, it didn't feel weird. But how did it feel for you?
For me, I was I was I think I took it like I took it good. I
Yeah.
didn't had no problems growing up or anything. My dad did come from it like he did come to the United States through a train.
Really?
Yeah. And my mom, I think she just took a plane and stayed and she did not go back.
Yeah.
She did not go back. And I was born in New York, so
Mm.
I could have stayed in New York. My parents could have stayed in New York, but they wanted a better life.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's crimes everywhere. There's
Yeah. You think you wish you would have stayed in New York? You
yeah, low
think?
key, low
Yeah. The
key.
way you talk about it, you sound like you do.
I want to go back.
You do? Have
I
you ever
do.
lived like no? Because you say you've lived
I
here
don't
your whole
really.
life,
I
but
know I was a baby when I came back. Came down to Florida, but
have you
I
visited?
yeah, I have a aunt over there and my cousins.
Mm.
So there was a time that I would go like 3 times a year, but ever since COVID came, it was hard for me to go back and
Yeah.
stuff. But I
And
want to
you
go
like
back.
it?
I do. I like the city. I'm from Bronx,
Yeah.
so I know my area. I know how to take a train,
Yeah.
and yeah. But I wouldn't want to like plan a trip and go with my friends.
Yeah, that sounds fun. See, a trip sounds fun, but I don't know about
living there, but maybe like 3-6 months living there,
Yeah, like a little experience,
meeting
like a short
people
time.
And yeah.
I don't know. I went there. My sister lived in New Jersey. What, like maybe when I was a sophomore, like a junior. So I was like 16, 17. And I went to visit her because she was going to move back down. And she took us to like Times Square. So I don't remember too much, but I do remember not liking it. I remember feeling like it was so many people. I remember feeling like it reminded me too much of Cuba, I think. Like all the clutter in the street, like of so many people being in a rush, like so much happening. I feel like I like the city, but I like not that type of city where it's like street walking, like city. I like a Orlando city. Yeah, I like Orlando.
What I think I like about New York is everything's close. Like you can take a subway and you just go eat, go to the park, do whatever, smoke, all of that. But Florida's like it's getting crowded, and to go to the nearest store is like 30 minutes.
Maybe where you live. I have a store right in front of me. I have a store right there and right there. Traffic. Yeah, traffic be doing it. Yeah. But traffic in New York is not a piece of cake. What are you talking about? But I get what you're saying. Like the train doesn't get traffic. Like,
it's crowded over. It's
and if you're just everywhere. Walking, like whatever. That's crazy. I don't know. I wouldn't want to live there at all. At least not like where I don't know. I can't live somewhere that crowded. But there's a lot of people who like it, like the experience of like being around people and like more like a community vibe. I like community vibes, but more like I imagine myself with like my neighbors and I being like close to each other, like our kids being cool. I would want to have my family all living in the same neighborhood. Yeah. Not too close, like not next door, but like couple streets down. That's like my ideal dream. So we could all like raise our kids together and stuff. But not like a city.
Not the city.
Not the city. I don't know. Maybe it's because I did live in Cuba that I'm like, I'm not into that now. I don't know.
What's your plan in life? Like, what are you gonna stay in Florida your whole life? I
don't know. I love Florida. Like, I can't imagine myself living anywhere else. I would guess the only other option would be something like that feels just like Florida, like California, but California is so
expensive.
I'm not even worried about that part because I try to like imagine myself like with so much abundance that I wouldn't mind. But just like I guess it would have to be the right area where it's not like over packed.
Have you been to Cali?
No, I've never been to Cali. But I like the weather and like the fact that they have like what they say about that. I like the weather. When I check the weather app, no. But I know they have like similar weather to here in the sense of like it's usually hot. I know if you go like up, it gets snowy and shit. Like
yeah, that's why. But I've been to San Francisco and I've been to LA, and I'm taking a trip in April to Yucca Valley. It's more like desert area. Yeah. I'm excited about that, but Cali's a good place. Yeah. It's nice.
But I think ideally, I don't know. I think I would want to live in Florida forever. A less crowded area for sure. And yeah, that's like my plan. My plan is to like start a family maybe in like a year or so. And I just see myself with like I wish like by that time like I want to manifest like other pregnant friends into like my life, like people who are getting pregnant at the same time as me and like doing motherly things.
I think you're the oldest child?
No, I have three. Well, we're three, but we all have different moms. It's hilarious. So my brother's first. I think he's 31 now. And my sister. No, actually, he might be 32 because my sister just turned 30. So they're like old. No, we're gonna be there soon, and then we're gonna be saying it's young.
I'm still 21, so
yeah, you're still a baby.
I'm a baby.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you, what is like your least favorite thing and like your favorite thing about being a woman?
My favorite thing about being a woman is I think having the honor of experience womanhood.
Ooh, the honor.
Yes,
I like that.
The honor. Getting ready, doing your makeup, surrounding yourself with girls. Yeah. Things like that. Probably the least thing I hate about being a woman is probably just dealing with hormones and like periods and all of that. But besides that, I just love being a woman. What's your favorite thing about being a woman?
The honor. No. The honor. The honor. I think such a long list. I like just like being feminine. Like I love womanhood. Like I enjoy the idea of like creating life, getting ready. Like you said, like I love being girly and like just being soft and like getting. I can hear her like cleaning herself. I'm in the middle of a deep talk, Zoe. Just like getting to like be soft and feminine and get ready and like do everything cute, but then also like on the other end, like the idea of like motherhood and like growing like a baby inside of you and like feeding it out of your
and
boob.
How your body changes. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's what scares me a little bit, for sure.
Me too, low key.
Oh, and I know it's like a good thing, and I know it comes with it, but like I'm so used to like my body now as like a single person of like no other human has been grown in here yet.
It's crazy how your body changes every time, like compared when you were a teen, and then an adult, and then after you have your kids,
men will never experience that. And it's okay, like they have their own things, but it's funny that like their body doesn't change at all when they have kids. Like they get the dad bod, but like that's just like by choice. That's just because you're being lazy. And he thinks he should be eating for two when this should be the mom. But yeah, I would say that's like my favorite thing. I would say my least favorite is like how scary it is to be a woman. Like the idea of like getting kidnapped or assaulted. Like I'm just so paranoid. My parents did like a really good job at like instilling a lot of like be careful in me, and so like I'm like get in the car, first thing I do is like lock the doors fast. Like if it's a challenge, like if I'm being timed and I'm gonna get money if I do it fast, like that's how fast I'm doing it. So I'm just like always very attentive of my surroundings and like with a hint of paranoia, so I would say that's like my least favorite part. It's just like how cautious you have to be as like a woman to be safe. I guess it comes with the territory.
Yeah, I see a lot of like documentaries about getting kidnapped as a woman and TikTok videos, and it's really scary. Like, right, I pump gas, go inside the car, lock the door. Every time I go home, lock the door.
We definitely have to think about it so much. I wonder what's like a man's version, like answer of this question. What do you think is their favorite thing about being a man? Testosterone?
I don't even know. I can't even answer that question.
If I had to guess, I would say it's like, how we're like being cute and girly. I'm sure they would say like being a man and like being strong, like the opposite of what we said. And I wonder what's like their least favorite. Maybe like that they're not allowed to be as like emotional as like women. Without being like judged.
I don't. Do you think they can be do you think they can be sensitive?
Yeah. My boyfriend is really sensitive, like still in a very like masculine way, but he does care about his feelings and my feelings a lot, and I hurt his feelings all the time because I'm such a Leo. Such a hard-headed pumpkin.
It's a Leo thing to do.
Yeah. And put a dash of like childhood trauma. We can't blame it on that, like we were saying. But trying to just outgrow like my habits of how I deal with like confrontation and stuff. I don't like getting like confronted. Like I hate when people tell me that I did something wrong or that like you hurt me too. It's like, how could I hurt you if you hurt me first? In my head, it's just like if I'm a victim in any sense, I also can't be an aggressor. But I definitely am. Like, and I'm such a, when I get angry, I'm so hard-headed and hard to deal with. But yeah, he's definitely sensitive in a good way. Like, he cares about my feelings a lot. He cares about his feelings. And
that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Have you only like experienced men who are like a little bit more like closed off to their feelings?
I think they were like fruity.
Fruity.
I think they were like, I don't know. They were just mama boys. They were like,
yeah, mama boys are hard to deal with for sure. That's like its own topic to get into. It's good for a man to care about his mom for sure.
Yeah.
But a mama's boy is like a whole different realm.
Baby all the time.
Yeah.
No. I don't like that.
Because as a man, you have to be like your own thing, like be so strong and like independent and like take care of your mom in a sense, but not like the other way around. Like when your mommy's like doing everything for you as a man, just gives like, just takes away from like your masculinity. And I like that extreme polarity. Like I'm very much into like a very masculine man. So like the mommy babying around, like, it's just not like my vibe. The ick for sure. Can't deal with that. Zoe, I can you see her?
I do see her.
She's like just licking herself clean.
She's just chilling.
I had kicked her out before we started shooting.
She did kick her out.
She snuck in.
When you went to check on the other cat,
this one, no, I was checking on this. I had to take a break because I heard ruckus so much that I thought that my boyfriend had came home, because I'm like, oh, that can't just be the cat. But in my head, I'm like, he knows I'm filming, he would be quiet. But I'm like, I mean, obviously the cat can't be doing all that sound. No, and I was so wrong. It was her. It was this one. This is not the same as the one in the other episode. That one was Gypsy, and this one's Zoe Poe. They're different kitties, but this one is my trauma. My what would you call it? Not trauma.
Your support system.
No. What do you call it when it's like a bad one? Like this is my bad child, I guess.
Your karma.
My problem child. Oh. There we go. This is my. Now you're trying to push it on me, damn bitch. No, this is my problem child.
Have you always been a cat mom?
No, I actually had I've only ever had dogs growing up, but I had a friend who couldn't take care of Gypsy anymore, which is my first cat, the other cat who was in the first episode. And she just asked me if I could have her because they couldn't have her anymore, and I was like, okay, I'll have her. And I like kind of lied to my parents a little bit as to why I needed to take care of it. Like I exaggerated the reason as to, and I was like, I'm not keeping her, it's just like I'm babysitting for a while. Yeah, so I lied a little. And that was my first cat, even though I had only ever had dogs until that point. And then I just had to get her like a friend, because now I live, here, and I don't want her to be alone and bored, be the only like animal.
She's so pretty.
She's
looking at me, staring at me.
Say thank you.
Yeah, I was always a dog person too. Yeah. I was growing up with dogs. And then out of nowhere, when I started living by myself, I got a kitten, and his name is Neptune.
Aww.
Neptune. And he's, right now, he's with my parents because I can't take care of him right now. But yeah, I love my cat. I miss him so much.
Damn. Are you going to be able to live with him, like where you stay at now? Or
probably not. I'm going to wait till I get my own place.
Yeah.
But it's crazy.
Your roomies don't like cats?
They don't. Well, one of them is allergic. So, yeah, it's going to be hard, complicated. Yeah. So I was like, it's okay. I won't bring my cat here. But one day I was leaving Wendy's crib, and we were talking about cats, like how it's important to, have two cats so they don't feel lonely. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, maybe I should check up on my cat. And then when I was just driving, like maybe 5 minutes within my drive, I look up and the street name said Neptune. I was like, oh my God, let me send a picture to Wendy right now.
That's so crazy. Yeah. I love coincidences like that.
There's a lot.
So much. I look for them all the time. I know some people think that stuff is like cuckoo, and Cocoa Puffs, but I like it. I feel like it's true, like, you know, when you're so like focused and like, I don't know, aligned or something, that you can like find synchronicities. Am I saying it right?
I think so.
Two immigrants, one podcast.
A Cancer. Yeah. I think it's a Cancer thing. Like, you know.
You think?
I think it's a Cancer thing. Like, I have really bad memory loss, and I know a few Cancer that does the same thing.
Interesting. Now I need to go interview all my Cancer friends. Are you dealing with memory loss? But yeah, I love synchronicities. I'm probably butchering this word. Like, who knows? I don't know. I gotta stop saying it. You see the grapes on the floor?
Yes.
That's from that. It's actually like olives, and it's from that fake tree behind you. And that one makes her life mission to pick all of them out of the tree.
Wow.
These are just the ones that she probably did today. There used to be so many on that tree.
Now it's like 2.
Yeah. And they're all bitten up. Problem child. All right. Well, that concludes today's episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you guys like enjoyed watching Emily and I.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. Thank you for coming.
And yes, we always plan something and it doesn't happen, but I'm glad this happened.
And when I told you about the podcast, I was telling you, like, yeah, I want you to be on it. Like, you were one of the first people to know, so it's only fair that you're, like, one of the first people to be on it.
I'm glad I'm here.
And I enjoyed learning all that stuff I didn't know about you. I feel like, what the heck? Like, how did I not even know that?
Yeah.
I can't wait to, like, dig deeper in, find out more stuff. Tell me everything.
We can go get some coffee and talk.
Yes. Yeah. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoy this episode, and I'll see you girlies next Wednesday. Bye.
Bye.